Initiate drop sequence. On my mark. 10, 9,
Power transfer.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
Welcome back. Planet Pert Podcast, episode number 27. Yeah, I know 26 not on YouTube yet, but that's my fault. Anyway,
I mean,
it's
one of those things. Man, it's been kind of crazy. But you know, we all made it back here once again. We got the mangrove community coming up next, so that's pretty cool. The more I just think about it, it's just kind of interesting that he's number 10 on the roster. Mm-hmm. Just because I kept that slot kind of open, you know. We don't involve ourselves with just anybody just because of the time commitment that comes from just dealing with it. So that's very, very interesting that's going on. But it's been like one of those... I guess because Trump's over in the UK, like everybody's just kind of like, man, they really are giving him a hard time. Yeah. But it's like, all right, whenever he comes back, then I guess people will go back to giving them a hard time. Right. And then, I think it's all distractions anyway. Like, I know just from like working over in IT that most things happen over a lunch or a dinner.
Yes, most business is done that way.
I'm just saying, like, like you don't get anything done in the office. The office is just where people can find you.
Yeah, but nobody's really fucking with him over there. It's been a couple of disrespectful things, to say the least. It's coming into London or wherever he came in at. Nobody showed up, and it's like empty barricades, and that pretty much stabilizes what the hell he is. I don't know if that little picture I saw was real, where the cops rode in the shape of a dick.
I don't believe in any.
Was that you saw that picture?
I don't believe in any of
the police, the escorts, like they they broke out. They broke out around the limo and shit, and had it covered from side to side, but it was shaped like balls, and then the front was like it was a perfect fucking shape. That's crazy. I don't know if it was real or not, but I thought it was hilarious either way it go. If it was real, that's super fucking funny. If it wasn't, it's still super funny. Like, that nigga's out of there, bro. And you know what threw me off, man, when and I hate to even go there this early, but watching They See Us Now, like that first
I haven't watched
15 minutes. I've seen two episodes, man, because it's one of those where you gotta be in the mood to watch it. And I was late night, Sunday, trying to wind down for bed, and 15 minutes in, it shows it's the Trump correlation here, the whole ad that he took out, and then they went back and found the tweets when they got out, like how they were not even realizing they had DNA, and his justification to that was like, oh, they were jumping people in the park. Well, not all those boys were even fighting in the fucking park. Number one, like, you know what I mean? Like, that's why I just stopped paying attention to that dude, because he's a fucking jackass, bro. Like, at the end of the day, believe whatever politics, I don't give a shit what people think, but I stopped personally paying attention to it for that exact reason, because I was like, man, this dude's out of his fucking rockers, man.
Well, like, it's just a waste of your... Man, it's amazing how many people were glued on the Mueller report. Like, anything that man, they don't tell us about aliens yet. So, like,
I think Trump did a little bit, though.
Man,
when he said he wanted to start the Space Force, and then somebody else backed that up. And I'm like, what the fuck do they know that we don't know? But go ahead and continue.
No,
just thought I'd add that in there. I think they do already.
What he's trying to do is legitimize a legacy. And so starting up a branch of any armed forces is something that has to be put in the history books. I mean, that's a lot of this. That's why he brought all of them over there, all of his kids, so that they can be part of this, so that they can be part of the pictures with the royal family.
Oh,
you
of course,
saw the
yeah, right.
Like, dude, if anything, it was my first place that I ever left the country for was London.
Mm-hmm.
And it was funny because I always say it was just me being American. It was no longer that I was black.
Right.
It was that I was American.
Right.
And so, like,
100% correct.
well, seeing white people being racist to other white people is just so hilarious to me in like a Travius only type of way. Like, I like seeing that shit.
That shit's pretty.
And so it was like people being like British mean to you. Like, no, I'm not going to walk up there with you because I don't want to take a picture with you. I'm going to hang out with the servants.
Right.
And like hang back amongst the common people because I'm one with the people. No, dude, you don't know. But honestly, real talk, that dude said some shit about his mom, and so he didn't want to. He does like neither one of them really want to be around because you said you could have betted Princess Diana in her times of need after all that bullshit, and that's like, yo, dude, you don't speak on the dead like that.
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
Kodak.
Yeah, but see, he was even out of there with the McCain thing, though. If you think about it, like, you know what I mean, like,
pick a day.
Just everything that he was talking shit about was like, on the ship when he was just like, and don't let McCain come here or something. Like, dog, I didn't,
worried about the wrong thing.
I mean, I didn't fuck with McCain when he was going against Barack Obama, but some of the things he was talking about, like, I could fuck with some of his conservative ways even during that time, because I listened to both parties, because I wasn't 100%. I was about 90% sure I was going to vote for Obama, but not 100. But I always leave a little bit of openness because you never know if people are talking things in your own self-interest, then hell, I'm voting for it. Like, if it benefits me and it doesn't benefit the mass, like, we vote for those things. But just him slandering like dead people, man, and just that's kind of sickening, man.
I say it doesn't even really matter.
And I mean, and
like,
and then watching,
seeing that the Electoral College was the winner. Like, once it became pretty obvious that even you going out, like, for me, I always say that was when I was trying to do the right thing and go caucus with when it was Barack against Hillary,
right?
And like, I was like, man, I'm gonna go out there and do my civic duty. That was my last real, like, I was innocent and thought that it was all good.
Right.
And then what I realized as the droves of black people finally got to go in and cast their vote, because, it took forever. Mm-hmm. It's only the people that stayed at the end who determines the Texas caucus. And so what actually happened to me in my head, because, I'm fucked, right, is that I was like, oh, shit, there are rules in place to where it doesn't matter what the populace does. You can still determine because you know all the rules. It's like playing Uno, right? If you know all the real rules to Uno, you can fuck somebody up. Mm-hmm. And it's like, man, like, once I saw that, and I was like, wow, because I just decided just to stick around because, I was just like, man, I'm going to do my thing and like,
I've been voting since I was 18. Yeah, I got you.
And they were like, you got to go in the primary, in the Democratic primary. Mm-hmm. You have to, because of LBJ. If you go all the way back to Lyndon B. Johnson, right? When it was Democratic Texas, they would have you to where you stayed, and only the people who knew that you stayed all day for voting.
Okay.
And at the end, you say, who do you caucus for? And they go, well, I caucus for this person. And that person goes over and becomes a representative over in Austin. Right. And that's where you start going, oh, wow. They didn't even, like, care if you were there.
I've never really did primary. So, I mean, you sounds like 100% right. But I never fuck with them because, honestly, I think with a lot of those, they know who they want to be the forefront and who to run. We've seen it with Bernie, how they put the money into Hillary, but I was fucking with Hillary anyway because it was another history milestone. And I mean, she's been in office forever, et cetera, woman, especially after backdooring the black man. Like, man, look, like, I thought that was dope. I don't know. I like to see new shits happen. You know what I mean?
That was a trend.
Even the switching over to the boxing shit, like the Mexican dude knocked me. I was like, shit, fuck it. I mean, I wanted Joshua in that fight, but then I really didn't give a shit because then he was like, I'm the first Mexican heavyweight, and I was like, damn, he's right. They usually fight, middleweight, lightweight.
Like, that's what I don't
little
understand
guys.
is like, how were people just like, was it that he was just such an underwhelming favorite, or is it that people haven't really gotten punched?
Well, it was
because like once you gotten punched, it like a boxer. Boxer who willingly gets punched with a boxing glove, because that shit even hurts.
Apparently, was that you just told me that? Was the sparring partner knocked him out? Or maybe I was just to the radio. So this basically the shit that came out after that. So
Anthony Joshua got knocked out.
The day before he was sparring, he got knocked out. This is what they're saying. That's what they came out later. So right before the fight, he had a panic attack.
They already set the rematch for September.
Yeah, it's later in the year. It'd be November, December.
Which is off the Wilder fight.
Yeah, but no, they were saying he had a panic attack right before he went out. He was supposed to go out. So they're trying to say he wasn't feeling well.
When it comes
to
see on the
rematch, man.
It's always who had the number on what round.
But this was early, dude. He got dropped early.
He got
third.
knocked the fuck out.
Yeah.
He got hit a couple of different times in a couple of different ways that you could see that he wasn't looking.
Yeah.
And that's the thing about a boxer is that they see the punch and they either take it or they deliver something.
True. That's true.
Oh, do you have control? Wow, D has control.
Unless you're Mayweather, you just duck all of them. But see,
he was always like brushing off.
So does that spoil the fight? I don't think I still want to see it. Does that spoil the fight with Wilder that he took the L, or does he have to come back and get the W, and then the hype is back up around that fight?
I think he's going to get a tune-up fight.
Because no, he's going to fight. Because Wilder's already saying he's fighting Tyson Fury again too.
Everybody has to keep the card going.
No, he did say he's.
No, I know, but I'm saying
not right now.
No, Ortiz is going to fight him.
Yes, but he says he's going back and fight all his controversial fights on Twitter. He was like, all his controversial fights, he's getting those out of the way. So at least up until 2020. That we know we're not seeing that fight until if we do, it's going to be later in the year. Yeah, but that's the rollout.
Like, I'm on it too. Like like as a producer, like I'm part of it. And
people are still gonna buy it, but that's the rollout, Trey.
Well, how do you roll it out, right? So like you just said on Twitter, he said that I'm going to go for all my controversial fights.
Yeah.
What does he really? All right. Let's just talk about it.
The Ortiz and
so that's
Tyson.
Only if you can get them to sign under these terms at this time of year, right? It's just like how Mayweather always did Cinco de Mayo because he always wanted it. He always wanted the Mexican dollar.
Yeah,
and just like his uncle and just like his daddy.
Yeah,
and that's where it just goes like I'm still
personally.
Boxing's the oldest sport, man.
It is, and it's still them. The big dude brings more hype winning, right? AJ, it brings more hype because now you get to. You never know, right? So now it's like, okay, can he beat him? And maybe Joshua was fucked up. So we'll see. We'll see what happens when he gets the rematch, and if it goes his way, or if he looks like a different fighter, then we could probably go back to that. The reason why I was still saying the fight is still good and valid to me is because if you look at Tyson Fury was beating Wilder easy, like outboxing him, and that was the 7th round or whatever fuck he got knocked out and he woke the fuck up. And it still ended up going to the card. You know what I'm saying? So, and honestly, that fight could have went Tyson Fury way, but they, instead of going his way, they just decided to just hit him with the tie because he knocked him out, but he hopped up like the Undertaker, came back, and then looked sharp in the rest of that round. So, I had him winning that fight, and it wasn't by much, but you know how that to be the champ, you got to beat the champ. Like if you knock a motherfucker out, you the champ. But if you go 12
canvas, man, you dropping points.
If you go 12, but if you go 12 rounds with somebody winning a fight, that's even at worst, the judges got to score that a 10-8 round. So you're really only losing 2 points on that. It's not hard math to figure out. Like it's pretty simple actually, bro. So that's a 10-8 round, but then I still would give it a 9-10 round because he got up and still boxed him. A 10-8 round is when you get knocked the fuck down and then you don't that whole round you were getting bullied. So you could still give him a 9-10 round on a knockdown because you only lose 1 point. But every knockdown you're losing a point. So when Joshua went down,
trust a game that leaves it up to the opinion of a judge.
Yeah, but it ain't up to them. That's why Wilder knocked niggas the fuck out.
That's what I'm saying. It's about the performance too. Mm-hmm. Just like with, because people go, what about gymnastics or ice skating and all that shit? And I'm just like, nah, because there's demands of performance. There's demands of the performance that you have to meet in order to go.
Yes.
And I saw some craziness with Houston's own Simone Biles, man.
What's that?
Like I posted it on the book. And like she literally did a move that only men have ever done in competition. Nice. And you're just like, oh shit, you got that in the bag?
Yeah.
Like you don't even need that to win.
Yeah,
like,
she's nice.
At any given time, you're just like, man, I'm just about to just pop this on out. Like gymnastics is one of those things
you
where
gotta have it in the back pocket sometimes.
Well,
Shit.
it's this, they call each thing a skill. Like I always wondered about it, but I'd never ever known until like, you know.
Oh yeah, the scoring for that is
well, it's like
I learned every Olympics. That's when I learned. And the more Olympics you watch,
been
the more
doing it for a while. And so it's like I've been watching like the older kids how they get down, and it's like they know how to do things with it, like just twisting and it's just like. You know, like watching them get coached, it's always like I'm just like rolling a shoulder or something like that. Yeah,
I mean it's just form. It's just form when it comes down to that, man. Like I mean, so you can't like sports that go to the card is not like for a long time I didn't watch boxing for a long time, bro. I started watching boxing when I started paying attention to Mayweather. A lot of people don't like his style of fight. I really love it and enjoy it because. If my homie's sitting there fighting somebody and he weaving all the punches and tagging you, like nigga, you in the hood, like or in a street fight, that's what you aim to do, right? Is to hit and not get hit. But if you leave it up to the judges, I mean, it's got to be convincing, bro. Like it's you don't have to, but you know that first round most of the time is a fill out round. Instead of filling them out, man, go for it. You feel me? Go for it. Go for it from then on out because not everybody can sit back and be like, all right, Mayweather lose the first 3 rounds and then win the next 9. You know what I mean? Because he sees what you're doing and he's just figuring you out. So it's a defensive strategy with that. Hell yeah, but shit, that's 30 minutes, man. You sitting up there. That's a long ass time to fight, man. Have you ever fought 2 minutes?
Man, I've always thought about like as a workout to go and like do the boxing training and shit. Because like you see like Jay-Z, man, shout out to the world's first rapper billionaire. That much.
Yeah. That's monumental, man.
Man, it's monumental just the fact that they explicitly said that they removed the Beyonce money. And I'm like, damn.
Yeah, well together they were already at $1 billion anyway, so that's not an article. But
they were like, we're gonna take away your wife's money. And it's like, man, that's fucking like impressive.
Because that's 1.6 damn near, according to I don't really. I know he's worth. I know he's worth over $1 billion, but
it's only taxable income.
Yeah, right. But you got to look into the different businesses and investments that he made.
Do you think that he?
I don't know. If Beyonce. But see, I don't know if Beyonce flaunts her shit like that because her Netflix deal. That Netflix wasn't shit like 400 million or some shit like that. That shit was something crazy, bro.
Who do you think cared more about it, the publicist or Jay-Z?
Probably the publicist, although Hove does rap about it quite a bit.
What happened?
But you know, he does rap about it quite a bit. You know, being a Billy, touching and getting a Billy first, and all the other stuff. And I mean, I doesn't really matter because I really wouldn't even want all my shit out there like that. But at the end of the day, you're such a big figure.
Like that in a while.
No, but I don't think he's doing it for that, man. I think the man now is, you can hear it in the music. I think he's just setting the foundation for black entrepreneurship and business, bro.
No, he's trying to be the blueprint. He said he's trying to be the blueprint.
Yeah, and since he dropped Blueprint, but before he dropped Reasonable Doubts, when he dropped, I think his plan from Reasonable Doubts to the person that we're looking at right now is just a staple, man. of
Memphis
what you
Bleak
can do
says-
if you move correctly.
Memphis Bleak says that during the Rockefeller split, because let's just be real, everybody's talking about this is what he's done once he separated himself from Dash and started cleaning up. He did. He became the president of Jeff's Jam.
Well, you have see.
Then like he cleaned up and started playing the game at a higher level.
Yeah, I think everybody
And
branches
now
off
he's
though.
one of them though. Like in New York, a billionaire. That makes sense in a room full of millionaires.
Right.
Right?
But
Because that's what you need to just be wealthy there.
I don't think you touch $1 billion just off of music, and that's
He didn't.
I know,
It
but
was
he's
off of liquor.
Master P didn't get to 400.
Like
Master
went
P didn't
to
get to
legal flips. He went to legal flips, bro.
Master P did not get to 400 and whatever $50 million. I got you. With just music, Master P started doing movies,
Dude,
clothes. I know, that's what I'm telling you. I'm going through the list of what these dudes do is outside of music, where you probably
E40
make way more money. You see, his music catalog was only worth $775 million.
Doesn't matter.
No, because the fucking Deuce shit was he had 100 in that and 170 something in Tidal and 200
diverse.
here and like
He was diverse.
nah, but I think that's the only way that you get to $1 billion. Like seriously, you know what I mean? It could be you have to have multiple investment because Rihanna's right behind him with the. And most of that is not from music. Like 400 of that shit is from makeup, a makeup line that she's behind. She has a 15%. She has a 15% stake in the makeup.
Dude, it's Rock Nation over here doing their marketing campaigns. Like nobody cares about Rihanna, but everybody's been hearing how she's the first this, she's the first that.
Yeah.
Maybe she's on that run, and if so, God bless, right? Especially Rihanna.
Well, that's how Kylie came up. That's why Kylie's worth a bill now, though. It's not physical money, but it's what the company's worth right now.
No, man, it's
like Zuckerberg doesn't have 35,
he's
$65 billion. Facebook may be worth that.
I don't know. What I really wanted to ask D was were the ladies different because of all the news in Georgia?
Oh, the abortion thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or were they just still like, wow? Still giving
Georgia's doing this shit too? I thought that was just Alabama. Georgia did the abortion thing too?
I thought it was Chocolate City. I thought it was
I think you might be right too with that. I haven't.
Because isn't that why everybody's leaving? It's because of the new laws? Because that's what I saw Georgia was that everybody's over poaching the shows that are over in Georgia because of that.
I think it's Alabama, Georgia, and then there's another state that just that just signed off on that shit too. I think it's sick. Number one, while we're on that, like that whole little.
Nobody cares about the laws.
It's not about law, right? But it's at the end of the day, I side with I can actually play devil's advocate to both sides of that, right? Because let's just say you been trying to have a kid your whole life, you get a chick pregnant, boom, and then she has the right to be like, all right, I just want to terminate this shit, right?
Yeah.
But if you get her pregnant, you be like, no, I don't want the baby. She had a baby anyway. She can come back after you and get child support. There's some sort of repercussion for you. You know what I mean? That or punishment for you that you got to go through. But let's just say you were a good nigga and you was really just trying to have a baby. She's like, I don't want to have a baby right now. So it's like you're in this. I know, but
I say this: if you give anybody the opportunity to make a decision, I don't like take away any subject matter over to it. I think that it's wrong just to have legislation in place to where somebody has to make a decision.
Yes. No. I'm 100%. I'm 100%.
About like if you want, like right now they say that the topics in CNN were abortion, legalization,
right,
and something else, and it was just like, how in the hell did they come up with these lists? And it's just because like it's just what people get to go Coke or Pepsi,
right?
Blockbuster Video, Hollywood Video. I know I'm dating myself, but I don't give a damn.
Yeah,
like everybody gets the references. It's really just like you gotta choose A or B, left or right, white, black, and it's just like that's just like, dude, just go and fucking do, because nobody cares. Nobody cares about anybody's opinion. That's what I really got lately, was that all these people who were like really blustery the last few weeks, right? Once the Mueller report came out, Mueller came on out, they did the political theater. Trump's gone. Everybody kind of calmed the fuck down.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing about Facebook that I hate. It's usually D's friends and then like people talking about whether they love Trump or anti-Trump, and then it's just my shit.
Man, I stay away from all that shit.
And that's my timeline. And like I was looking over at Aaron's timeline, and it's totally different. And it's just like, ouch, that would just be like painful just to go through. But it's like, because I'm subscribed to pictures in history and really stupid shit that you see me share all day, it's kind of like, oh, that's when I'm getting bombarded with. Like, what I really actually started wondering what other people were getting. Yeah. Especially because like we have the ads and shit. Yeah, and I was like, man, I wonder if people just all of a sudden they see all this those stuff, and then they see like a commercial of us being black. Like on the Trump timeline, it's like Trump, always pressure.
Those algorithms black are all people. Fucked up, man.
You know what I mean? And like, it's like
they're all,
it's 18 to like 40 something, and like male and female is like who's all really looking at your shit? Yeah. What's the real audience? Somebody asked that of the mangrove community the other day, where they were like, before we book, we want to know the numbers of your analytics. So like I started looking over at, as I do, I looked over at the numbers and shit, and I'm just like, man, who really knows? Right. Who really knows the tally? Who really knows all these different things that are certain, right? And it's just like right now, Instagram, they took away the likes and
they did that. I believe in Canada they're doing like a trial just to kind of see.
When you see one.
Yeah, but I think it may be a social experiment, and that may be me and my conspiracy bag, but I think it's more of on the lines of a social experience to see what the difference would be, with the negativity stop, with and those are things that they're trying to minimize online. If you haven't noticed, you can't say too many bad words on Facebook.
It's all a social
or they'll hit them algorithms on your ass, and you'll get banned like me for putting the wrong words in the sentence. Not even saying anything racist, just the wrong words in the sentence.
No, it is racist. Because if a white person said it, I would have been like, "Oh, dude, you're not supposed to say that."
Yeah, but it's doing,
like right
doing
now
the roast.
Right now on the Joe Budden podcast, they keep on saying that Rory's about to drop the N-word.
Yeah.
Joke, because a rapper said that that's the truth of the matter.
Yeah, it's when he come out.
They leave. It's like they coming out like
he came out. When he came out like, "Yo, Houston, what the fuck is good?" Come out like real cool, sit down like this little swagger. So I that's why it was really funny to me when they said that, because I seen it, and I was like, damn, he did come out like that. And they was kind of fucking with him on that shit too.
Because you gotta think, the only people that he knows goes on stage. Because he's the guy who organizes the festival. He's not the guy who's on stage. Like, I think that's the funniest thing about this Joe Budden being the biggest podcast thing, is that it's with Maul, right, who was not seeking any of the limelight, right? Right. Like, if you really look over at the Joe Budden podcast, they've been on for years. Yeah. But, like, the lineup has changed. Rory has been there for a long period of time. But it's really like, once they finally got Maul, all of a sudden they're doing tours and shit. So like, none of these motherfuckers should have ever been on stage, especially Parks. Parks knows that he's not even, he looks off camera. He's still not on camera.
Yeah, it was weird.
Still not on camera.
It was weird seeing him at the live show,
because he's an engineer. He's not trying to do that.
But he was kind of sitting to the side, had his own little table, drinking his Budweiser and shit. He loved his little Budweiser shit.
Like, I mean, but he's on tour.
It's cool. It's still cool to see him, because Parks started coming into the show a lot more after maybe when Joe got fired. That's when I started hearing Parks more. Because even after that, initially you would hear Parks say a couple of things, but like now he's actual part of the show. which is still
It
cool.
was when
It's still
Jill
cool.
Scott dropped that she knew Parks too.
Yeah, but he was on a little bit before.
No, he
that.
was always the
Yeah.
guy off camera where like you never knew what he looked like, but now he's
Yeah, it's kind of
now
like
all of a sudden I
fucking
bet you
Tim the
he has a
Toolman Naylor.
contract.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah,
I bet
of course.
you he has a contract.
Yeah,
It's
hell
so
yeah.
funny because like so many people did it without it. And
Yeah.
it's like it's just like nobody even knows.
I think that's what's dope about that podcast is that they pay a lot of people. Everybody behind the camera. You know what I'm saying? Erickson, like there's a lot of moving parts. And one thing about Joe is Joe makes sure everybody gets their bag, whether they're the same size as his or not. That doesn't really matter because you get paid according to the work you do. Understandable, but that's one thing I think that's dope about him is he's always an advocate for trying to get people paid what they should be getting
Creator's
paid.
great.
Yeah. And man, that's
That
important.
was the best rebrand ever, dude.
I think so too. I
not
wasn't really a big fan of Joe Budden's music. Never really liked his voice like that. But when I start watching Daily Struggle, whatever the fuck it is, when I start watching that, that's how I rolled into his podcast. Is once he got fired, I went to his podcast to see. I know he's gonna talk some shit about it, and then I went to his podcast and I was like, "Damn, this is actually really good." And I started watching that instead, and I was like, "Actually, this shit is better than the Daily Struggle shit." And I started watching it, and their numbers reflect that. You know, they do their little 50K, 80K,
Oh,
100K.
he did the rollover because he was on Love and Hip Hop before. I guess that's.
I
where
never watched
where
that
he
shit.
was. I don't.
That's for
I don't
females
watch TV
and messy
at all,
ass
man.
niggas. Like
I was
don't
about
watch
to
that
ask
shit.
about the Kanye interview that everybody's talking about.
Do you watch
with
that
Dana
shit?
Lewis.
Yeah, you do. You a messy ass nigga, man. You watch that shit.
Oh my goodness!
I'm messy. No, fuck out of here.
D is like that. Hey, what?
You ain't finna get me in that trap shit. Fuck you.
You-
Go back and forth.
He watched Love and Hip Hop, man. He looked like old Love and
I
Hip
don't know,
Hop. That
man.
nigga cut
I
up
was-
on his couch and shit with his little snuggie.
I think what happened.
Remember the snuggie?
I think what happened
nigga
with
still
me
got a
is that I
Snuggie and
switched
shit.
from
With his
DirecTV
little
to
popcorn and shit.
Xfinity. And because I switched from DirecTV to Xfinity, I didn't know any of the channels anymore.
Yeah, you watched
And
it.
so, like, I just
Get to the
stopped
point.
watching shit.
Oh, I was finna say you watched Love and Hip Hop before. I watched the first
No,
season.
I haven't watched. Man, dude, I'm not worried about anybody.
I watched the first season. The
Somebody
first
was
season.
asking me because they told me it was Pride Month this month. Because you know I know people who believe in those things and, and like you know
It's
like
good for them.
and
I believe.
well it's like everybody feels like they have to say how they're fucking and it's like I understand but it's like I don't really care about anybody else's sex.
Can we
life
talk
except
about that
my
for a
own.
minute? Because how do you feel about the straight pride parade?
No, I think that's wrong. I think that's
See,
misguided.
hold on, wait.
Why do I think it's misguided?
Wait. So I'll let you get to that, but this is why I fuck with it because it's like, as a straight man, I feel like I love the gay people, bro. Talk to them all the time.
Yeah.
I feel like their sexuality is being crammed down our throat. At this point,
Yeah. I got you.
At this point, I'm like, all right, dog, you gay. We get it.
And I think that
Be you,
have
right?
You have fatigue
So
of
you
it
feel the same about
because
all lives matter.
it's like it's like pick a clause. It's like pick a logo.
Just do you. Go ahead. What you?
No, what I'm saying is like with knowing that all lives matter was created to kind of like go.
No, I don't see. I don't think
Black
that's. I
Lives
don't think.
Matter. You're
I
saying this. I mean,
I could see the
straight
correlation.
pride Clearly created.
I could see the
because of
I could see the correlation, but every
the-
kid.
Can I say why I think it's misguided?
Go ahead. But if it was in
It's
Houston, I would
because
go.
Everybody's
I
would
trying
go.
to be represented right now, and I think that it's a good time, especially in this.
I think
social
people are
age.
just tired of it, bro.
No, in this social age, I think that everybody has their opportunity to say their piece, right? And for some people, they need it. Some people, they don't. It's all about content. You know what I mean? It's all out there at this point.
Right.
My biggest thing is that people should just stop caring about other people like that.
That's true.
Yes,
And it's
but-
like, I understand, but I think that so many people take so many stances that they'll never, ever have to deal with in their everyday, to where it's like, why do you have to feel like that right now? Why are you putting that on your chest? Not you.
I know. I get it. No, I get it.
I'm saying,
I get it.
It's so like when I saw that people were like in reaction to, because that's how the media is spinning it, right? In reaction to
they
Pride.
are spinning like that.
No, like
I don't think that's why
they're always spinning. And like as the person who now gets to cut and say action and shit like that, I realize, man, you can tell a story a number of different ways.
Right.
And that you gotta be utmost careful the more people are watching, right?
Yeah.
Just because everybody is coming at it with judgment, people are looking at it through different lenses at different times of the day. Right. And so it's like you never ever really know how somebody is perceiving you, right? And then like right now with the whole as a reaction,
Right.
as they're spinning it, is the reaction to the Pride. It's like, man, one, Pride was once necessary when you could not say that shit. Otherwise, you were going to get killed.
I get the movement. Yeah.
You were going to get killed. And
they weren't really getting killed like that. They were getting beat up, though. Gay bashing. Bashing was a thing in our day.
I watched the L Word because obviously I support a lot of the directorial
I remember gay bashing. That shit wasn't cool.
And
then.
it was a lot of people got killed, dude.
Yeah. I'm not saying people didn't die, but
it's
going not to kill people.
It's the shepherd. They have like a whole day for them. It's all these different things that were going on that everybody has to have their moment to represent who they are now. It's just now we get to see it all more. And because we get to see it all more, everybody's fatigued by it. And I'm like, why do you even care?
Because it's frustrating because...
You can put down the phone.
Great. So they still do Splash here, right? They shut the cap. They used to do Kappa Beach Party and Splash around the same time. But I know, but you shut down one, right? Why? Because it's a bunch of niggas out there. With Pride, it's a mix.
Because they didn't want you there.
But with Pride, I understand. But the gay people, but it's fine for the gay people to be there. Like, what are the gay people? The gay people bring it up. They have Jeep Week now. You saw, and you saw 60 people arrested.
You can throw an event anywhere. They were saying
60 something crazy. 80 police calls. Like 60 people arrested. Like one person dead. But
it's saying they're not blocking. I'm thinking like that.
They didn't give the permits anymore.
The Capitol stopped doing it, and it became the Texas Beach Party. That's when it started going down.
They stopped.
Yeah, but they stopped giving permits. The Texas Beach Party wasn't
with the Made in America tour with Jay-Z.
Yeah, but when they're shutting our shit down,
you gotta stop it because
see that
afterwards,
I'm not even like
too much. It's too much to the city because they gotta clean up.
Of course,
and the logistics.
Businesses were locked. I remember I paid $5 for a pack of Black and Miles. If you ever bought a pack of Black and Miles in 1999 and 2000, they were $1.25. I paid $5 for it. They hiked up all the prices. The sodas were the prices they are now.
Why do you remember all the prices of everything you've ever bought?
Because I'm cheap as hell, number one, and I just have a great memory.
Dude,
like, I remember a lot of things.
The last podcast, Per had me, and like I'm sitting over here to the side, and they were just going back and forth.
Oh yeah, numbers is my thing.
Numbers, and I'm just like sitting there, like, man.
That's what I do. I sell drugs, bro. Like, what do you want me to tell you? Like, that was what I did. Like, numbers was a thing.
I sold roses.
You had to, roses.
I didn't care about that.
Yeah, but if you're making a profit, I sold candy in high school. When you're making a profit, you're making a profit, bro.
Break machine. You remember the pencil break?
I just showed them. We were playing pencil break at the house. The kids were confused on what the fuck we were doing. We were doing it with chopsticks, which was not a good idea.
Do it with chopsticks. It's not the proper grain of the wood.
Well, they just wouldn't break.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
It would take an hour to fucking play, and my fingers start stinging. Remember, when your fingers start stinging, or you had that one pencil you won where you put that lucky pencil in the pocket and tucked it in there for the next.
My boy was talking about for the next one. My boy was talking about going to India. I was like, man, just go over to India, man, because you just see something different, right? Mm-hmm. And like when I was over in the Japanese airport, I just realized that a lot of people really do use them as chopsticks. Like, those are utensils, bro. Yeah. Those are tools. Right. And we just, we're playing pencil break with them. I don't even open them up.
It's America, bro. That's what we do. We waste shit. We waste shit and we cry about shit. We cry about shit we don't like. I mean, that's the whole thing. That goes back to the project. Like, people are just crying because it's all, they're looking at it like it's an all out. I can see that, though, D. Like, you can look at it like, oh, it's an all out made out of that. But it's just like, at this point, I'm kind of sick and tired of it. I can't watch TV without a gay couple on there. And I'm not saying that they're not part of society, but I feel like it's trendy. And that's what
the same thing about comic books.
I know, but I feel like it's trend.
Well, hold on, wait.
Everything
is represented in comic books.
That's great. So let's go Superman. Let's go let's go to the comic book thing real quick. Where who's gay on Supergirl? The sister's gay.
I don't
like,
know.
Like they,
Black Lightning, the daughter again.
yeah, like they introduced like every. I'm waiting to see who's gonna be gay on Flash. Like I'm waiting, but I'm just waiting for. I'm like, okay, which one of these motherfuckers gonna be gay? Because they're gonna nigga. They gave it to me on Walking Dead. Walking Dead made it 7 seasons, 6 seasons, 5 seasons without a gay person, and then out of nowhere to get a gay audience in because the gay thing was. Y'all not watching y'all not listening to what I'm saying because they're doing this shit because it's trendy, bro. Like Walking Dead out of nowhere, and I was like, as a joke, I was like, man, wouldn't no gay people? Wouldn't no gay people be allowed to?
You don't want to get the
zombie apocalypse. That's just me being an asshole, but
like when I get the hate mail, I'm like, damn, dude.
Whatever, but fuck that hate mail, bro. I don't give a shit about none of that.
You don't have to deal with it.
It wouldn't matter if I got it. I wouldn't care. It wouldn't bother me, bro.
We've gotten where it's like we've offended people in different ways, and it's like
I don't really give a shit. Cool. Like tighten up because I come from an era of tighten up. Like I don't care about this sensitive shit.
A decision from a terrible business.
I know,
but hate mail can equal to loss in profits. And stuff.
Yeah, that's great. So who cares?
You caring or not has nothing to do with a money decision.
Who cares?
If you're making business,
like I wouldn't go on an apology. I wouldn't go on an apology to it. Yeah, but a statement could be chopped up into a clip and made to look a certain way, right? Like just like
effective, and it's still
effective to who? Only if you allow it to. The president is not affecting him at all.
What business is
he's running a lot of businesses, right? He's making a lot of money in the White House right now. It's not ruining him, bro. I think people thinking that it ruins him, so they try to clean it up.
That's not the point. No one said anything about that. What I'm saying is he's not going to lose any business based off of what he does. I didn't say he doesn't have any business.
Kevin Hart apologized once, said he ain't apologizing twice. Already apologized for that shit one time for the little gay comment. I feel him. Charlamagne had to go in there and apologize. See, I wouldn't even, if I was in that spot, I ain't finna apologize for shit on that. I don't really give a fuck about that business at that point.
No, they apologized because there was like usually 20 people on their payroll that they had to make sure that it was going.
Yeah, man, but we say fucked up things all the time, dude. Like, you can't go back and apologize. It's like me being like, oh, it was 5 midgets in the place and then you come back. Like, I think that really bothers me, like, that we're such pansies. I think that's where I be on my conservative shit where it's like, shut the fuck up. Like, I don't care about that. Like, y'all two, like, Pastor, get the belt, nigga. Bring that shit back and start whipping these dumbasses. Because I don't really give a shit about how people feel, bro. Like, get over this shit already. Like, we shouldn't have to PC everything. That's why TV's so PC. That takes me all the way back to what I'm telling you, even with the walk. I'm like, fuck it, do the walk. Because everything is just...
They're starting cursing and starting putting more.
Yes, but the regular TV shows, they do curse now, and some other shows that come on TNT, and like they you pay for it. You pay per curse word, trust me. It's not, they ain't free. Them shits ain't free. Like, literally, them shits not free. But they're not. You have to pay to cuss on... So you could cuss on cable TV, but it's still the sensory, whoever the fuck, what is it called? The censor something, whatever the fuck they are. Yeah. Like, they're the ones who basically hit you with the fines and stuff like that.
FCC will get you.
Yeah, FCC. Because you can get away with saying so many. That's why when they curse on the Breakfast Club, he's like, all right, we got one. You can do one. We don't do it again. And they try to tell you not to do it again if it slips through. If they didn't get the hit on the delay, because most of that shit's on the delay anyway. So, I mean, I don't know. I just feel like America's soft. People are getting soft. Like, the world's getting soft. Like, you can't say what you want to say. Like, comedians have to walk a thin line now. Like, fat jokes, gay jokes. Like, but if you're gay and you come out and you make a gay fat joke, then it's fine. Like, man, erase those lines again, bro. That's why comedy's trash now. I don't be laughing at none of them specials on Netflix. I laugh I chuckle like 3 times at them shits because it's not like a raw Richard Pryor, Martin Lawrence, like the fucking comedy is even watered down. That Kevin Hart bullshit, the last one that came out, I'm sitting there with a straight face the whole time. My wife likes him and she not laughing. I was like, man, this shit not funny. Like, she was like, this ain't, she like, oh, you just be hating on it because you don't think he funny no more. No, he just lost his edge. If I go watch Grown As a Little Man and laugh at my pain, that shit was hilarious still to this day. Like, the content is fucking watered down, bro. Like, nobody has that raw edge to like stand out. It's like cookie cutter ass bullshit once you make it, bro. TV's the same thing. It's cookie cutter. If you have an opinion, it has to be cookie cutter now. Like, it doesn't have to be cookie cutter. Like, you can have an opinion. Like, the Duck Dynasty dude that got fired for being like, hey, I ain't really with the gay shit. I ain't really with this. I'm this type of Christian. And Boom. And then they come back and fire. So I understand when y'all talk about the money thing, but just like nigga, I'm already rich anyway, so it doesn't really fucking matter anyway once you get to that point. But staying inside the box to not offend nobody and tiptoe and eggshell, right? When I'm around gay people, like on my bike rides or just around gay, I still make gay jokes and they laugh, bro. Like, you know, when I'm around an African dude, I make African jokes and he laughs, bro. When I'm around my Mexican dudes, that's all I do is Mexican jokes all day. They do them back to me and we all laugh. I don't think people care about that shit as much as y'all think that people care. And the money cares when people start ranting and raving and crying and shit. So shit. That being said, back to my original point, I'm down for the pride. I mean, for the straight pride ride, or whatever. Like, fuck it. Why not? I would march. And it's no disrespect to gay people because it's straight people that march in the pride parade. So nigga, bring your ass out there and just march because it's really just about people and love anyway, right? Or is that only a gay representation?
No,
I know, but no, let's figure it out.
It's basically people who wanted to bring the energy of, well, like I'm not included and I'm not represented. I don't know, man. I went on a deep dive with
without straight pride, there is no gay pride, Trey. And that's facts, bro. We make gay kids.
No, man.
So,
like,
yeah,
we didn't make any of this. We exist in a society that was already established before us.
When I say we create
the
gay kids.
Yeah, things are changing
it's
within
a penis
our
and a vagina
lifetime.
to have a baby.
Is changing within our lifetime. And like even within our lifetime, you don't even need either one of those things to grow a baby now. Like,
I mean, you can.
We were talking test tube babies back in the ranking days, dude. Yeah. Like, come on. Dude.
It still takes a penis. It doesn't matter, bro. Man, how is it now? You have to have a surrogate.
It's all synthesized X and Y.
Yeah, but you have to have a surrogate. You have to have sperm.
You need to have 23 chromosomes.
Yeah, but I'm telling you.
That's all you need to have. 23
They're not growing babies out of incubators,
man,
bro.
You have no idea, man.
You're bugging.
No, I'm not. I know that people have ideas.
If they were growing babies out of incubator, people wouldn't go spend $30,000 for a treatment.
I know the scientific method, and I know what's out there in the market.
So you think they're growing babies out of incubator too?
Dude, we're doing things like freezing embryos.
I've heard worse, bro.
Y'all niggas is
like there's so many things out there. So
that couple that can't have a baby, why didn't they just extract the sperm?
I can't talk to somebody who doesn't like to read.
I don't know what y'all think reading does for y'all. Like,
no, it's about consuming new information.
How the fuck you think I learn most of the things I learn, bro? Like, when I click on articles and I click on stuff, I read the article.
But it's like you and I'll go, hey, this is what. No, because this is like.
Fuck about y'all in them books, man.
Fuck
them books, bro.
I go, this is what's happening.
They don't make y'all smart niggas, bro. I can sit in this room and have a whole conversation with y'all on the same level as if somebody who read a book, and I don't even read them shits.
I go, Pert. Hey, this is what I was going. Here's what's happening.
He's tripping, bro.
And then you go, how do you know that? I read about it. Fuck a book. And then you go like, well, like shit. I can't even tell you that this is like an established thought where a dude like did the research and just be like,
if you don't understand something, but you know the answer, and then you don't like the answer.
He's like, no, that's not what I was saying.
Right.
It's like,
so it can't be true because I wouldn't say it.
All right, well, I'm not even gonna do that. I'm not even gonna do that. It's like fuck it. Like,
you slid that in there so fucking smooth.
No, because it's the truth. Because it's like, all right, where did I read it at? Well, like this dude had a hypothesis,
right?
And he proved it out with the scientific method.
And I read those type of no.
Well, it's like
it's not really a book anymore because I read everything online. That's why I'm saying like the book shit is watered down, bro. Like it's I get you. It's great, but the information can still be found online. I just read articles, bro. Before I click the video and watch the video, I actually go and read the article, and I'm like, this all you gave me in this article? You gave me this much article. So now I have to click the video because you enticed me with the clickbait to click on the shit. So now I have to watch the video. But me watching the video is still another man's thoughts and another man's words. Me reading something on a piece of paper is still another man's thought and another man's words. Whether I did the audio book, whether I listened to an audio book or I read the fucking book, What's the fucking difference, bro?
I don't really care. If like you're audiobooking and you said, "Hey,
like
Trey,
most of the books that
come
I have
on in."
are on Audible too. Just
I heard this book and it was saying this, and then I'd be like, "Oh, that's cool."
Right, it's
Let
the
me
same
hear
thing.
it too.
But that's not what you do.
I know, because I don't give a fuck about
I'm
the books.
like, man,
Fuck
fuck
the
that.
book.
You read a
That's not
book
what
with
he
your
does.
time, dude. You could have watched a video. All right, like maybe I just
I make
wanted
books
to-
seem like they're like the holy grail of knowledge. Like,
no,
they're
it's
not anymore, bro.
Anymore.
Well, no,
They're
it's-
not.
I think that if you cannot see the printed word, which is hard to change, right? Then, like, eventually, when you consume it on the tablet, right, it's going to be like how Orwell was in 1984, where they just changed history on the day, depending on whatever the motive was.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
Dude, it's not even just that. People change history all the time. On Facebook, there was the Nancy Pelosi where like she wasn't even saying
they slowed it down,
and then they changed it.
Yeah, edit
and
the video.
It's like so now they won't take it down,
right?
And so it's like, but you have like two videos where it's like side by side. You go, oh, this isn't real, and this is real.
The conservatives,
and everybody's like, no, the other
one's real,
This one's
because you get into this whole political
fuck?
war.
So this is what we do with our time,
but that has nothing to do.
Because that's what I'm saying. You're over talking about straight pride. I think people need to be if I really had as many hours in the day, like to just worry about things that everybody else got to like really align themselves with. Man, I would probably over try to get my wife over down for a minute or two. You know what I mean? I'm over here trying to do something else with my time. And like people want to have like really hardcore statements about, man, I'm not sure about shit. I'm not sure about anything.
That's just my opinion.
I've never even had sushi,
for none of you niggas.
But everybody loves sushi to where like I might have like a Philly roll or something like that one day and be like, man, dude, I missed out on sushi this whole fucking time.
Yeah,
and I'm not saying that it's about the gay pride or the straight pride or anybody needs to have pride about anything. Man, whatever's gonna rock your boat, but that's what you really do in your time.
You worried about what they do.
You worried about what somebody, man, dude, I ain't worried about nobody. Man, especially after I got married, nobody wants to sleep with me. Like nobody's worried about me, man. Like I'm off market. I got 2 kids. Nobody worry about me, man.
That has nothing to do with it. I think I missed the concept of that. Like I don't think it's even about worrying because I don't necessarily worry. Like when I did the episode, don't read the comments. I really meant like don't read the comments, and I find myself sometimes still clicking it, reading like 3 of them, and then like, see, I ain't missing nothing, and then I jump right back off. And I jump right back up off of them, bro.
That you actually post the most of your own thoughts.
Yes.
Out of the 2 of us, and I post the most links.
Yeah.
Just because I just post links to shit and like, but you actually write out and put out posts.
Right.
That dude's writing a novel and doesn't want to read it.
No, no, I don't.
He's
even,
writing a Facebook
I don't even post them.
All you need is 50,000.
When I do
words.
Posts, it's like,
do you think you got more
it's
than
something clever,
words
something funny
on Facebook?
It's something absurd that goes through my mind. Probably so. It's something you can download all your data if you want to.
You should.
It's easy, but it's just like thoughts that go through my mind. Like it has nothing to do. Most of the time, it's something very fucking childish, immature. And I know that already. That's the whole point of like I don't take Facebook and online serious. That's why anybody that ever meets me be like, like that's your friend D? And be like, man, that nigga not like that for real, bro. Like ignore him. And then that's when they just stopped responding. A long time ago he did that. And then every time I go on his post and post something stupid, like nobody bites on it anymore because they're like, here go this stupid ass nigga again. And it has nothing to do. It has nothing to do with
Park episode.
It has nothing to do for attention. It's for my own entertainment, bro.
Like,
I don't want your attention.
Troll.
Like I literally laugh
It
at
was
the shit.
Who was the guy with the mustache on South Park? I think he's the guy with he's Kyle's dad. But like he was the epic troll, and so like he would like implant something in the chat room, and then it would just like grow. And they were like, man, you're the greatest troller ever. Mm-hmm. You didn't even say anything mean. You just said this. Yeah. And you caused all this to happen. And like, they were
it's just causing a disturbance, man. I told y'all that before, dude. Like,
you're not Morpheus, bro.
But that's not. But
you're
that's
not Morpheus.
But that's not my point.
You're not Morpheus, dude. You're not on the Nebuchadnezzar, and you're not going against the agents, bro. You're not going to tell me that when one day you won't have to dodge the bullets, Neo.
He won't.
Like, what the fuck? Fuck that shit, dude.
He won't.
Man, come on.
You
No.
can just stop him.
No.
Oracle said that.
No, man.
Yeah.
I saw John Wick. Man, I haven't watched John Wick.
No,
yet.
I haven't made it around to John Wick.
Man, I think we should
man.
we should figure
I
that
thought
out.
what-
Awesome.
I
Everybody
watched the
keeps
last.
on doing
I
it.
watched the
It's
last
awesome.
one, bro, and I was kind of fucked up when I watched it, and I was like,
It's gonna be. It has to be another one now. Once you
well,
get-
yeah,
No,
they
are.
already
They said
signed
it's
for
gonna be a
4.
4. And I was like,
I
that's
think they had,
crazy.
like,
I think that's the only movie
a
series
minute of
movies that I got
fucking
where it actually
dialogue.
got better each one.
There's no
Well, they're telling
dialogue,
you, they're
man.
telling you something. Well, like, nah, they took you with the first one was about John Wick, right?
Yeah,
Right? And then,
but
like,
the 2
him
and 3
just
are
coming out of
repercussions what
retirement.
happened on 1.
And then, like, from there on, it's just like, yeah, you can watch one after the other. And I bet you it's going to be one hell of a marathon.
Yeah.
Do y'all
Part
like
4 is
that?
gonna
The
be
fact
off
that
the
it doesn't
chain.
have no fucking dialogue, though.
It does if you know. If you watch it.
Part 2 had little
That's
dialogue in
because
there,
part 2
bro.
was consequences of 1.
Yeah. And
It's
he
just
was
like him running on rooftops, jumping
it
and
was
killing
literally
people.
him getting away after
it's
doing what he
the
needed
whole
to do.
point. This is a big action movie.
Oh, I was looking for a
I
little
like
bit
that
more
it's a continue.
dialogue.
No, man, they're about to have a whole spin-off show where it's about the actual hotel of Hitman. And that's the great thing that
Yeah.
people don't realize is that, like, people are building new worlds, man. And it's like right now, things are kind of drying up. After Endgame came out, like, people are kind of fatigued with the Marvel superheroes for
Nah, Phoenix is about to kill.
That's not.
No.
Oh, it is Marvel.
No.
Phoenix is about to kill.
No.
What?
It's going to be
X-Men?
respectable, but it's not
Nah,
going
it's
to kill.
about to
That shit's
kill.
going to be trash.
Bro,
Well,
You
this is the
can't
thing.
recut something 4 times and it still still be the same fucking movie.
Well, this is the thing, though. I don't think like Avengers and hell, just the last couple of Marvels, like the Black Panthers, all of that.
They've
set
been
the bar
going up.
so
They've been
high
going up.
that you have to get somewhere near that to not be considered trash.
right.
And
It's
that's
gonna
the
be
only,
up.
That's the only thing. It's like,
Will
they're
it
gonna
beat
make-
those
it's
two?
better
Man, I'm
when
gonna
they make
spoil.
money.
I'm gonna put that shit all online, because you know Pert loves X-Men.
I do fuck with
And
X-Men.
so like he's gonna be like, man, Sansa's gonna come down and be Dark Phoenix. Man, I know about the Dark Phoenix story, and that's gonna be some
Sansa.
bullshit. It's gonna be some bullshit, dude.
No,
As
it's
somebody with a Dark Phoenix statue,
Nah, they got
I am
Sansa
not
in
looking
there, bro.
forward to it.
And I was still.
And it was my first
Whatever
statue,
happened?
too.
Whatever happened to fucking Jean Grey at the end of the? See, this is why I don't like.
No,
This is
because
why
they keep
I
on
won't-
trying to do this.
I know, but
Phoenix thing.
I know, but the X-Men. This was when she was older.
Okay.
When she disappears,
Okay.
holding a plane up for them. When she basically supernovas.
Yeah, because that was a false start 1.
So it's like, what happened to?
And then when
that-
she
they
came
never-
back as she was Phoenix for like that third one where everybody was basically doing stuff. Yeah, no. Where it's like you had every X-Men you can possibly not have to pay royalties for.
Oh, I feel like they
That's
didn't follow.
number
I feel like
3.
they didn't follow the timeline enough.
No, they didn't.
I think
do it.
Avengers.
They
I think
restarted it. They rebooted.
Yeah, that's what I was hot
You
about.
can't reboot
Because
something.
I was like,
you can
"Ooh."
reboot Batman, but once you reboot Batman, Batman runs, right? It's like
Because they did
you
some
got
weird
Ben
shit
Affleck.
too.
Ben Affleck's gonna have his plus the Justice League bullshit.
They went to the future. They started fucking with the Sentinels. Like I was lost
That
at
was
that.
the redeeming quality.
I was lost at that point, but I still enjoyed the movies because I'm an
No, that was a
X-Men
great
fan.
storyline.
I didn't like the way that they followed X-Men, like especially when they went way back to the fucking 70s and Professor
That was
X
pretty
could
cool.
walk and yeah, but I was still waiting to see what fucking was gonna happen with the airplane and Jean Grey and actually being Phoenix
I
and
care
going
about
bananas. I cared about that.
No, they rebooted it, and then they had X-Men First
But they-
Class,
Trolling.
and then they did that.
I got you. They rebooted, but they didn't continue the story that I wanted to watch. That's all I was saying.
because
Like,
everybody was like that was trash.
you didn't like that
All
one?
right, so let me just tell you.
Y'all
All right.
tripping, bro.
In the comics,
Wow.
that storyline is so awesome
Wow.
that Magneto ends up pulling the adamantium or the metal from Wolverine's own skeleton.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like one of those things that in the 90s, as far as comic books, it's
Mm-hmm.
like one of those things that every comic book guy like has and
Yeah.
painted on his mind, because Jim Lee drew that shit to where you thought that somebody was ripping the metal off of your body through your skin.
Right.
And it was like, whoa. So they put that in like part 3 because they rushed it up because they took somebody who's used to writing screenplays. You give me these books and I'm going to write a screenplay. And what was it that you were saying, D? We got to take it down 20.
X-Men numbers were
you
still
take that
good.
one down 20, right? And then all of a sudden the story is a different story. So then they just go and say, homage. We'll since we're already homaging, let's just do this other thing that we saw in this movie that somebody already liked.
Right, yeah.
Oh, because Sansa is now Game of Thrones and she's going to be our person in the middle.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and let's do some extra close-ups with her or some side to side of her just going fucking crazy. Let's reshoot it.
Wow.
Okay, let's reshoot it and let's spend a little bit extra of the
She's a looker.
Nah, dude, it's gonna be so much trash that you're gonna be like,
y'all niggas
Trey,
hating.
45 minutes in, you're gonna be like, man, Trey,
Y'all
I can't
niggas
even believe
hating,
this.
bro. Hell
Right?
no.
All right, it's on the record. Like I myself,
couple of those
I'm gonna
X-Men
watch
movies
it
were
just
better than those
because I
Avengers
watch it
movies to me,
all.
but
I'm a consumer as far as
Shit's
the
predictable.
character comes. And Chris Claremont, who actually wrote the whole thing, since we're talking about books today, like that dude, like he really is the reason why we all love X-Men.
are they really books though, Trey?
Yeah. Because if
Are
you
they
think about
really?
if you think like the godfather of comic books right now, which is Stan Lee, was a failed novelist. He originally set out to be a novelist. Nobody wanted to print his shit. He got a job. They started letting him write stuff.
You would have known that if you would have read the books.
Who gives a fuck? What intellectual dialogue do you get out of a comic book? I've read comic books. That's what I'm saying. Like, if
All right. Can I talk to
Especially
you?
knowing that
All right, no.
the X-Men
Because
should have
you
was a representative of the black.
it was the All right, so X-Men was the representative.
You can't talk about that because it's in the book, Trey. You can't
I
prove it 'cause
get
it's in the book.
Professor X
And if it's not gonna be- and if it's
was
in the book,
Martin
okay.
Luther King and
Malcolm X, the original inclusive, the original.
he should have made them
inclusive.
niggas black then if he wanted to step out on that fucking ledge.
Nah,
man.
because the problem was that
Fuck.
they used to say our skin tone was shit brown, and because nobody could draw us correctly without being a caricature, they did not do that. That's the reason why you have the first Green Lantern, because it was a very good. It was Neil Adams who
Yeah, that looks
decided
good.
to actually take it on and be like, man, I can draw a black guy.
Right.
Because other guys were like, well, I don't know how to draw them.
Right.
You know, like, do we
Yeah,
make
they
their
used to do-
penises big?
they used to
What, they were in spandex, you know? Some of them are in underwear. And it's like, you know, like, so it's
Yeah.
really, really crazy when you have those things, man. But at some point in time, you had to have a Pride Month. You had to have a first person to say, I'm going to draw. You have to say somebody who's like, I'm going to paint and shit brown. But man, you can't be like, because it doesn't affect you and it doesn't halfway affect you, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, I think that's. I think me not being affected by a lot of those things to a point real quick, and the reason is because me not caring is me not giving a shit about what other people think too, though. So if you gay, you're gay, right? Like you shouldn't care about what other people think, regardless of the
Because
fact.
that's what you say. You got to say tighten up.
Yeah,
Because
tighten up.
anytime that
Yeah.
you're not tight, you tell yourself tighten up in your head.
Yeah,
That's your
Yeah.
inner monologue.
Yeah.
I've been over here thinking about that for a while because I think that that's a good. If you're on the Twitter voice or anywhere, I think that having an inner monologue of Pert's day from a GoPro point of view would be very, very interesting on what he says to himself.
yeah. Talk to myself all the time. But
No, because like Mary was like, because she saw me like talking to myself as I was leaving Studio B, and and like I was over talking out what I was gonna do next on, cut or whatnot, and she was just like, "Who you talking to?" And I was like, "Myself."
right.
And then like I was over on Facebook, and they were like, when somebody was making fun of them for talking to themselves, and they were like, "Man, why wouldn't I consult the realest motherfucker in this room?" And it's like,
That's true. That's true.
It's like, yeah, man. Like, I wonder what people say because I know people don't talk to themselves like I talk to myself.
Oh, I do. I definitely do.
No, I know that you're
And then I ride sometimes with like no music in the car and like listen to my own thoughts and like really have conversations in my head about.
Do they
like,
change sounds or pitches?
They don't really change pitches.
Because that's something else.
We
we gotta monitor
They
those.
don't really. I know. Right? I need some medicine for that
Gotta
shit.
monitor.
No, but it don't really change pictures or anything like that. But I do sit and ride in silence and don't even realize it. Like I'll be from downtown to wherever with nothing on, like absolutely not looking at my phone, watching the road, and like in thought in my own head. But like I feel like if people keep to their own, it's healthy though, because if you keep to your own thoughts,
nah, man.
If you keep to your own thought, not saying to keep to your own thoughts all the time, but if you keep your own thoughts and not really give a fuck about what other people think about your thoughts, then you I don't know, for self-esteem wise, like I have the highest self-esteem in the world because I really just don't care what people like. It doesn't bother me, bro. Like I'm not put in this world to impress anybody, to do anything to make anybody else happy. Like, figure your own shit out. Figure your own happiness out. Impress yourself. Don't do things to impress me, because one thing about me is you will never impress me. And that's facts. I don't care what you buy me. I've had people do that. What you buy me.
Somebody's going to buy you something?
Yeah, but like I have people. People want
me something. I want to.
No, I'm still not your friend.
Always freshrecord.com.
I am still not your friend.
I'm still not your friend. Information for the PO boxes.
I'm still not your friend.
Please send
me. If I don't fuck with you, and you gave me $1 million. We still wouldn't be cool. I would take your $1 million.
Explosives. I don't want any creams or anything like that. Don't bring me any creams.
I like food,
man. Like, but make it like.
You're still not gonna be my friend if you feed me.
No, man, like everybody needs to like I would like to have some stuff for barbecue. Man, I actually put together the barbecue this last weekend, man.
I saw the picture, saw the bones coming up.
Man, the bones came off. I didn't know, Pert had always said that it was going to be a good experience, but until like I actually got on it and got it going, it was just like literally feeding logs in.
Yeah,
man,
like, the smoke is it's a dangerous game to play, man.
The thing about smoking meat is that you got to get enough to smoke for a while.
Yes.
You can't come over there with like some store-cut chops or something.
Yeah,
you're gonna throw them in. They're not gonna be. They're gonna be dried out.
Yeah, you got to do the whole loin if you're gonna do something like that.
And that's where it's kind of like smoking meat has kind of lost its. Like for me, I think this summer grilling season will be a lot of eclectic dishes and techniques. Because as you know, I got an arsenal now. I might as well use it all.
Yeah.
And so like I'm gonna break out the rotisserie at some point. I'm gonna break out the smoker, of course, one more time. I gotta make a brisket for this year. But
in
like,
the safe, or are you gonna try it in the smoker?
Nah, man, I'm gonna do it in both. Okay. I plan on having an APR barbecue, but it's just like when and it's hot.
Yeah, I don't know when
you're gonna be hot now.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's what I always say. Is that, like for me, I don't really give a fuck.
October.
I put up the.
You got 5 months or 4 months.
I put up the
September,
tent
maybe
and everything. Once I put up the tent, man, like it was like having a temporary gazebo for a minute, and so. I think if I'll just get another tent, which I already have, and then like I have shaded areas. Yeah. Which is really the thing. What I was really thinking about was, man, we kind of need an above ground pool. But it's like I've always like been so against them. Yeah. But like I saw a neighbor actually have one, and I was just like,
they got something that get pretty high, bro, and pretty deep. Depending on what you wanted to do with those.
Man, pools are expensive, man.
Yeah, I personally don't want a swimming pool. I personally don't want a swimming pool just because, hopefully this community has I
don't like being around other people when I'm half naked.
Oh, I don't care. I look great half naked.
No, I got a lot of tattoos, and a lot of people they all wonder about the tattoos, and it's
nobody's
bad
judging
enough.
You, Trey.
No, man, I just don't.
Nobody's judging you, buddy.
Huh?
I said nobody's judging you, buddy.
Nobody's judging me, but everybody has. I've been typecasted as the intimidating male way too many times, to where I know I fit a description, and so I just don't want to be on anybody's radar.
I mean, that's why you have well, I don't know. I'm open. I have conversations with people and just to get to know people. Because I mean, people judge you. People judge you based upon that a lot of times, though. Until you start actually having conversations with people, and then you realize, oh shit, you're just like me. Like I don't know why people have to have that conversation, but some people. They're wired a little bit different to where they may look at you. They may look at you like that, and it's not even a conversation. It's just
I've been out there a lot longer, and let me just tell you, dude, it's
hell no. Been fucking white hoes my whole life and been dealing in uncomfortable situations around people who judge me all the time. And it's like I said, it's until you have conversations with people and then it changes their whole perspective.
I don't want to have a conversation.
Well, don't.
I don't even
Raptors are
understand.
winning.
That's the thing is that
What's the
I
count?
don't know
118 and 105.
Nice.
how much time is left.
1 minute.
Right. You got us over with. Perfect.
Raptors, so that's 2-1. That's pretty good.
Yeah, I don't want to see Golden State win, bro. I hope they 3-1 and take it back home and just take it in 5 with all the injuries. Because Golden State got a couple of W's because of injuries, especially the year when Beverly got hurt for the Rockets, Westbrook. Like, they've had some close series where Kyrie, they've had some injuries to significant. So it's kind of good to see them going through that basketball decline of having the injuries, and if they could really battle through it, if they're as great as people say they are through all these injuries, and it's proven to be a big no. I don't know what the fuck happened in game 2 where they let them score 18 points and coach did not call the timeout in time, and then nobody looked like they even wanted to play basketball in that third quarter for the fucking Raptors, bro. Like, I was like, they were doing these one stagnant shit, isolations, forcing, and it looked like a bunch of fucking Will Smiths when he wouldn't pass the ball that time, where he's shooting over 3 or 4 or 5 people, the ball wasn't really moving. Like, the swinging wasn't. I just be watching this shit sometimes like, damn, this shit has to be scripted, because it's just like the last 2 minutes of football when it's like all this great shit, and it's like, dog, what the fuck have y'all been doing for the first 3 quarters? 3 quarters and 3.
I think it's a long time
Quarter
since you
and-
played basketball.
No.
Try to play on the regulation court at NBA speed. And then tell me like why you would not conserve energy.
This is during the half court. The reason why is the conditioning for Golden State is they ain't conserving no energy on the other side. So you're constantly running around. The ball's moving. Next thing you know, open dunk, because they're threatened by shooters. So the speed of the game, it looks like a bunch of fucking Reggie Millers out there playing, because that's what style basketball that is, bro. Like Curry and Clay.
Was great.
That's nothing but Reggie Miller on 2.0 with, of course, more accuracy on the shot, but it's constantly just moving without the ball, bro. Like, and
that's the reason why Ray Allen has all the threes.
But if you watch the games with Toronto, you saw that ball moving when we were watching that shit. That ball was moving. That ball wasn't standing still, and they were walking through, getting dunks in the lane, getting layups. Is when the ball starts moving. I know you're tired, but this is for the championship, my nigga. This ain't no more games after this. Like, you put it all out there on the line every game, bro. There's no way I go to a championship game and be like, all right, I'm just about to half-ass this.
I always wonder about that when it comes to somebody like LeBron, because like this is what he does. This is what he will always probably be known for.
Right.
Even though he'll do so many other things, he'll be like those runs in the finals. The fact that he beat Golden State within their run, kind of like will always put him as a cement as one of them. No, it's just like, because you got to talk about the one who he took the team that won the most games and then beat them, made sure that they didn't get the title.
Yeah.
So where you go, that formula is flawed.
True.
Because that's what's happening right now in Houston right now. They're trying so hard to beat Golden State, but what they're going to come back as is probably Toronto, right?
Yeah.
Because if Toronto wins, then there's going to be a whole bunch of, man, Kawhi and Leonard's about to make some money. Right.
They're either going to like supermax him. If he win the championship, I can see him staying and not going to the Lakers. But we'll see how all that shit plays off in the upcoming weeks. And
why deal with the snow?
What?
I'm just saying. Like,
is Drake's house that cool? Because they're building it now.
No, it's not even built yet. Drake
but
mentioned
it's
it's
like,
crazy.
man, Drake has the fucking
free Soulja
plane.
Boy, man. I ain't got free Soulja Boy in a minute.
They gave him a plane. They gave him a $250 million plane.
They gave it to him?
Because they said that it was good publicity for him to have it.
Okay. I thought he bought that motherfucker.
No, that's what they originally tried to parlay it as. And then somebody released, because you know it's always a
Right.
and then afterwards you get the truth. That's the shit that pisses me off.
I don't give a shit how you got that damn plane.
He has such a great plane that it's like,
a 2-bedroom in that motherfucker, bro.
It was like a 2-bedroom.
It's crazy.
Man.
It's absolutely crazy. Before we go, man, you see Meek Mill getting a new trial and a new judge.
everybody who has come out about prison reform, including Robert Kraft, have all found themselves in the news. Why? Because lawyers are expensive.
Right.
1, 2, they bring cameras. 3, they don't want you to reform it because it makes too much money. The prison system is just another racket, man. Just like education is one racket.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's crazy how many people are 100 grand in debt after 4 years.
True.
Think about that.
That's true.
You're buying a house right now. Think about it. Like in 4 years, somebody is 100 grand in debt and they don't have anything to show for it other than a piece of paper.
Yeah.
To put on a piece of paper and to pass a background check when somebody asks, hey, is this valid?
Yeah.
That's fucking crazy. But that was our generation. A lot of people have student loan debt. And a lot of people are not doing that anymore. But it's like once you try to like reform an industry, people are going to stop you. All your dirt's going to come out. It will come clean one way or the other. And so now Meek Mill got off of that shit and then decided to partner with Jay-Z.
No,
that's the thing about.
So you think his Hoes lawyers? You think his Hoes lawyers that got him?
Fucking crazy that Jay-Z came out as a billionaire the same week after Meek Mill is now up on trial again.
Yeah, we'll get a new trial.
As Robert Kraft is already off of trial right now.
The man should have been, for what he did anyway, dog, 11 years of probation for what he did was absurd. But again, we haven't made it through Central Park 5. We talked about Central Park 5 earlier, but we haven't made it to Central Park 5. But if you look, I know, the only plus side of that is those dudes end up winning $41 million they did about 6 years. They end up winning about $41 million from the state of New York. Like that's the only plus side that happened. And it's not really a plus because you still lose your life and they were totally exonerated and all kind of other shit, right? Like that's the only thing that's good about that. But looking back at that and seeing how they were railroad, like I still think it's monumental, and probably because he's fucking with Hov and fucking with the right lawyers and in that position that they're in to get the retrial. Because not many brothers get a retrial with a new judge, bro. Like you had to fight. I don't know how many millions of dollars you spent for that, but he had to fight for that. And I think at the end of the day, it's already time served for the charge that they had him with. I don't forget what it was, but it wasn't anything major.
I'm tired of the prison system being a storyline for black males. And if you want to hear how I feel, man,
a lot of that's on us though.
Man, and that's that shit. And like I'm saying that with all, like looking at it from all sides, Pert. I know that there's only so many economic routes throughout from the hood to the suburbs. You know what I've traveled.
Yeah.
And so like I understand what everybody's saying, but right now it is not cool to be part of this system that profits off the fact they just get truckloads and busloads of black males for all doing shit because they don't read the books and know the laws. They follow somebody else who they believe is telling them the truth.
Right.
They're not thinking for themselves. And it's like right now, there's a lot of people who wish that they could be out just to try one more time.
Right.
Right. You talk about watching the first 48. I don't watch the first 48 just because, just like I always say, I always am really keen about the images in my head. And when I see it, it's the saddest thing ever because it's like, yo, man, do you realize your genetic code that lasted from slavery and plagues and everything else is now going to go sit in a cell?
Yeah.
That's what you're going to do right now.
Yeah.
Right. And there's always been prisons and stuff. Even there used to be debtor's prison where like if you owed money, you would go to jail.
You can still do that.
It's not like it was, dude. But over in England, just to keep that police system going.
It's called tickets if you don't pay.
That's what they did. What they did. And that's what they're doing right now. And we don't care. So, like, we'll watch this movie, right? Because I'll probably end up, me.
Well, it's a series. That's what makes it worse.
And it's kind of like one of those things where, like, at the end, I'm going to be outraged. And then what am I going to do? I'm going to watch The Office or Parks and Recreation.
Yeah.
Or something else that doesn't even mean shit.
I'm gonna make it past everything because I do want to know the whole story. I did not watch the actual doc. Like I started watching it, so at some point I'm going to finish it because I understand exactly what you're saying in that regard. But a lot of shit, bro. Like nobody tells us to have 41 people shot in 12 hours in Chicago over the weekend. Nobody tells. I know, and I'm trying to just slam Chicago because New Orleans is fucked up because a lot of fucked up shit happens there too, and it's fucked up shit that happened in Houston too. But nobody tells nobody to go.
Tired of
nobody
storylines.
I know, but nobody goes and tell people to do this. So it's like
nobody's
I'm watching when they come and rob the store, the little black kids come rob the store and push the old lady on the ground. Nobody told them to go on the fucking on the west side of town. I know, but nobody. Trey, those kids had options, bro. You have options, man.
You're over here talking about some street shit, and I'm talking about some real shit.
I don't care that people that go to jail because they've done.
Over in the Negro community, right? We were over in Acre Home this week, right? Stop, because you don't even know what I'm about to say. All right.
No,
and so when I was there, you should care. Mm-hmm. And this is the reason why. Because as somebody who has wealth and is a landowner, know what they're doing right now. Know how they're playing the game against you. Mm-hmm. And so right now, see, this is why you don't argue with somebody who doesn't want to hear anything.
I'm listening to you.
Is that right now, all these people who have inherited land that has been over in Acres Home for hundreds of years, right? Generations after generations, they're giving up that land for pennies on the dollar. Mm-hmm. They don't have any mortgage. They can knock down those houses, those shotgun houses that you don't like anymore, put up the mini McMansions for the price that new developments are going for. But nobody's telling you. But you know the people who do, though? The developers who are going to put a Starbucks up there, who's going to put down shit that you don't want it, that other people do. That's why in the third ward, there's like fucking 3-story townhomes in the third ward.
Yes.
Why? Because everybody's over here plotting. And you want to know something right now? Nobody's actually making moves right now. That's what impressed me so much about even the mangrove community, because where it was like, I'll go film them over doing a trash pickup because it's somebody doing something.
Right.
I'm so tired of people talking about like watching that fucking Central Park 5 being outraged, and then what are you going to do?
Nothing. We never do nothing.
And so I'm tired of that shit. I'm tired of the storylines where like people, man, dude, I heard this fucking story where this dude got into a car to go do a drive-by and take out somebody, accidentally killed the wrong person. And it's like, dude, you spent that much time to be in that position at that moment. That's what you do. But you can't change you can't use that whole energy to do something different with that time.
That was my whole point.
And
that's why I don't care if they're in jail.
If we're
doing it to ourselves.
I care about it because it's a storyline that's too plausible and it's too prevalent.
Yeah, but we try to educate and talk about those things to change those storylines. But we can have a million talks until we're blue in the fucking face.
No, I'm actually doing stuff.
Yeah, that's great. But culture is still culture, though. You can do all the shit in the world, but that shit is not going to change. Culture is still culture. Hood culture is still hood culture. Like these people, they really believe that this is all that they have to live for, bro. Like I see it. I have family members in this shit. When I go back home, I see this. Like, what you're saying, pennies on the dollar. They're not going to invest anything. I ride through Second Ward. I ride through Third Ward. I ride through Fifth Ward. I go through all the wards on my bike ride, bro. And we go to, I see the city, my nigga. Like I see the city. I see the little bullshit houses. Then we go through a neighborhood and there's a little McMansions you're talking about in the middle of these wards and stuff like that. But they're selling the land because white people they're not gonna, or the government, I should say, not even white people, the government is not gonna come through and invest in those places, bro. And when they do, they're gonna try to do low income homes to try to get black people into those neighborhoods. A lot of Fifth Ward, a lot now, because you got it. I've learned this in my little class, dog. A lot of Fifth Ward, what people don't even realize, a lot of Fifth Ward rebuilding they're rebuilding specifically to cater back to people of the community, my nigga.
So I don't know what say.
Oh my goodness!
But that's what they say. But then they price you out. I didn't realize that Greenspoint the average income in Greenspoint is less than $30,000.
Mm-hmm. That's about right. That's about right.
And so it's like, how can you afford a $1,600 place when you're not going to make that? When you gotta boo up. When you have, it takes a village. When you have like hourly jobs to where they're going to cut your hours. So it's like they're going to price you out. That's what see, when you say that, all I'm saying is that what other people outside of the hood sees is that 60-year-old, 70-year-old land that has been locked up in the central part of the city is now available.
Yeah, it's available, but who's gonna? Have you ever rode through some of the?
Because you don't have to live there.
Have you ever rode through Homestead Road down Homestead?
You buy it, so you
it's
don't have to
isolated,
live
bro.
there.
There's nothing over there. There's no Walmarts. There's no.
Yeah.
They're not putting anything. That's my whole point. They're not putting anything back
Yes.
into. But why are we waiting for? This is the thing where Jonan was talking about with the gentrification. Where people were mad about gentrification. When these niggas could. Jay Prince could be out here gentrifying Fifth Ward to low income. Like, not saying he's not doing nothing because that's not what I'm saying. But we could gentrify our own fucking neighborhood. Charlamagne was talking about that shit too, and that's one thing I had to agree with him on. I was like, yeah, that's true. Like we can spend, and we can raise the stock value of our neighborhoods.
It doesn't fit the character of a gangster.
Well,
people like to live in the hood.
All right.
People do.
All
People
right.
like
I'm not arguing with you, but when they go to jail, I'm not going to sit up here and scream injustice, nigga. Like, y'all doing shit. Like, people are not doing shit to better themselves and try to get out of that. I came from the hood, bro. So I'm not finna sit up here and be like, oh, and you be like, whoa, that was just you. Like, yeah, my story was fucked up as anybody else's. I can go and tell you a million things about me growing up as an adolescent where I was put to fail 99 million times. But at the end of the day, you got to look at your own self-worth and your own value and understand that you want to come up out of that. And people will call you Uncle Tom, but then a nigga that sell drugs that's constantly in and out of jail, he a real nigga. Like, that doesn't make any sense to me, bro. Because I'm out here free, taking care of my family, doing the right thing legally. Like, nigga, I am a real nigga. Like, how the hell is you a real nigga for being some street nigga that killed my cousin? Like, it doesn't, like, until we change the balance of our own shit, like, we could sit up here and point fingers about getting killed by cops, and that's like, what, 1,000, 2,000 people a year? Nigga, we're killing way more people than that ourselves, bro. And I'm not justifying anybody being killed by cops because it's fucked up either way it goes. But at the end of the day, if we're looking at our own numbers and focus, see, this is where it goes back to minding our own fucking business. And the same thing I told you earlier, worrying about our own selves and worrying about yourself. If you keep your thoughts and things to yourself and naturally put those things into plans like Carl's doing, like, I like that. That's dope. That's monumental because it's not just talk, it's action. If you actually put forward at doing something, then things will get done. But if we sit up here and tap out and basically saying we're losing before we even start playing the game, then guess what? For the generations and generations and generations, you're gonna fucking lose. My next generation, my kids, that generation, that next bloodline that I created is gonna be way more successful, gonna be way more advanced than me, just because I'm gonna make sure that I can do the best that I do to set a foundation. May not be big as yours, but I'd be goddamn if I don't set the foundation of ownership and the game of credit, the game of education, whether it's going to college or just going to get certs or shortcutting the shit through and showing you how to go around not putting yourself in debt, or tremendous debt, I should say, to get these things done. Like, it starts with us and the information, and we could sit here and blame people all day. White people, oh, the cops coming through here. Nobody told you to sell dope 3 times and go to jail, and now they're getting you for 15. Like, nobody told you that. Yeah, the white dude got caught 5 times and he got 10. We already know the game, or 8 or 10, and had to do 3 and came home and did 7 on papers. We already know the game already, bro. So if we're playing a rigged game that's already fucked up, then why are we continuing to hang ourselves to fill up these jails so they could make the money, bro? And that's all I got to say about that shit, bro. That's all. Planet Pert Podcast episode number fucking 27, bro. Fuck them books. Out.